Rob, you look amazing.
Thank you.
It's like you're running for Republican.
You do look like you, yeah. You're running for something.
Rita, how are you? Did you get the link? No. Did you get the link? Okay, 7:20.
If she's gonna buy a house, I'm definitely talk to her.
I'm sorry.
When she comes to buy a house, because I think it's
Sorry,
eventual,
bye.
not,
Yeah.
you know, I'll definitely call you.
That was quick. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the work and action meeting of the Bogota Board of Education for Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. Please stand for the flag salute. Go ahead, Kennedy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That means you all did this in school one time.
Every day.
It was like all synchronized. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of the public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with this provision, with the provisions of this act, the Bogota Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Bogota Borough Hall, communicated by letter to the record, and filed with the clerk of the Borough of Bogota, and also posted on the Bogota Board of Education website. Irfan,
Mrs. Alcalde.
Here.
Mrs. Alvarez,
Present.
Mr. Alvarez,
present.
Mr. Chavez,
Present.
Mrs. Cruz,
Present.
Mr. Navarro.
Present. Present.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Oliva, absent. Ms. Rocket,
Present.
Mr. Miranda,
Present.
we have the quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Irfan. Also present is our student representative, Ashley Ureña. Welcome. Superintendent Damian Kennedy, Board Attorney Thomas Coben. Sure gets paid like that. And School Business Administrator, Board Secretary Irfan Efsa, and Assistant Board Secretary Elizabeth Ruiz. And our board tonight, right? I'd like to open the floor to citizens on agenda items only. Do I have a motion?
Alvarez?
Mr. Alvarez, do I have a second? Mrs. Alvarez. Any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's do this. Any member who would like to address the board on agenda items only, you have 5 minutes. Please state your address, right? Because no more names. Or
Your
please state your name, no
not
more
your-
address. So get that out of there. You have 5 minutes. Go on. Yeah. Is it the Jeopardy song we should be having?
Yeah,
Right, it's a little more interesting. Do I have a motion to close, citizens?
Motion.
Motion, Mrs. Rocket, do I have a second?
Alvarez?
Mr. Alvarez? Any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, perfect. Mr. Kennedy, I believe you have the floor.
Okay, good evening, everyone. First up will be our student rep, Ashley. We're going to ask for her student report.
Hello, my name is Ashley Reina. I'm your student representative for today. Before I say anything, I wanted to apologize for my absence in these last couple of months. I have been working. For a little recap of these couple of months, we have concluded with our fall and winter sports. Each individual team had a very fulfilling and heartwarming experience. The Radium Girls play was a hit, and so was the Percy Jackson play. Our prep rallies have been extremely engaging, and we are excited to plan out our last one soon. Our spring season has started as well. We hope to see more success and brilliance throughout the rest of this year. Finally, thank you, Mr. Kennedy, for allowing me to attend this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, now my report. First up is our HIB report. We had 2 reported HIBs since our last meeting. One in the high school, one in Steen. Both were unconfirmed. We are also preparing for state testing that is approaching, starting next week with science in grades 5, 8, and 11, followed by the NJSLA for grades 3 through 9 in ELA and math. And then we're going to sprinkle in some DLM testing and AP testing. So we'll be quite busy the next 5 weeks with standardized testings in all of our buildings. Next week is also a very busy week in district. Again, on Monday night in the high school, we will do this for the second time and have a joint spring concert with Bixby and Steen School together. Last year, I thought that was a great success, so we're looking forward to it. 6:30 in the high school auditorium. On Tuesday night, we have another board meeting. That will also be our budget hearing. And then on Thursday, the high school will host an open house. This is open to all families in district, not just our 6th grade families and 7th grade families. I think what I've heard over the last couple of weeks is we're doing a lot of great things in our high school and people have no idea what we're doing. So we want to give a chance to everyone in district, come meet our staff, learn about our clubs, our sports, our activities, what we offer for course offerings, see the building, and then also over the next 2 or 3 years, the amount of work that's going to be done up in this high school and across the street with the CTE building. Lastly, I like to say this a lot. We had a really great Bogota night a couple of weeks ago. We had the Bogota school community versus the world famous Harlem Wizards in a basketball game. Shout out to everyone that participated in the event, a bunch of board members who played, board members who attended, who helped during that night. The gym was packed. The kids had a really good time. Their smiles on their faces started at when we arrived and didn't end even the next day. I was walking around, the kids that were very happy about it. So a lot of time and energy went into getting this off the ground. So a big shout out to Sherry and the Steen PTO, but it was truly, like I like to say, it was a great Bogota day. It was a great Bogota night. So Sherry, wherever you are, please take a bow because that really went above and beyond for the community. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Kennedy. I also want to thank a half-court, 5-point shot from our man Damian Kennedy. I have the videos to prove it. He was the highlight for the next week. Shout out to Sherry and the Steam PTO. Brilliant idea. I truly wish it was every week that we could get something like that. It takes a lot of determination, a lot of drive, a lot of pestering, a lot of bothering Frank Miranda. I got to tell you, are we going to have tables? Are we going to have tablecloths? Are we? And I was like, Mr. Kennedy, can you please make sure we have tables? Can you make sure we have tablecloths? And I want your jerseys to look great. Is Rob Alvarez making it? Is Chavez making it? It was you got a lot of that, right? Please post. And so it takes a big community. They say it takes a community to make it happen. If I had to guess, there were 400 people there between kids and parents or plus. You know, it's not always about the money. I'm not sure how much money they made, but it was just about how many hearts they fulfilled. My daughter wore that jersey for 3 days after. I mean, every time she got home, she threw the Wizards jersey. I saw kids outside shooting the basketballs. I somehow have 3 of those basketballs in my truck. I don't know how. I know I gave a card and they showed up. So at the end of the day, it was a true Bogota event. And again, you know, there was a lot of talks all over social media about this 5-point shot, and it was Damian Kennedy. He showed his skills for real. Thank you to Dr. Lash for being there. And I got to tell you, thank you to the teachers. I mean, the amount of running that happened there, some of the showcasing from these educators, there was a true spirit. And I want to thank you from my part, because usually when you have board members co-mingle with the educational world, they seem to keep it very separated, very dry. That's also a testament to the job you guys are doing. They see us as one, they see us included, they see that we care. And the way that they treated at least us 3, right? It was like we were a staff member. We were part of it. Come on, Frank, let's go, Jose. I heard it, and it humbled me a lot, because it truly, Sam, just so many people that were there. They included us. It was a beautiful thing. So I was really happy to see that. And the turnout was amazing. So thank you to Sherry. Thank you to the STEAM PTO, Sherry. We're gonna miss you. And we didn't understand that. We saw it last week. I know, after all the Tylenol, I said, who else would I drink Tylenol for? I gotta be honest, guys, it was my first time in my life. I don't take, so it just, she makes it happen, right? So it goes a long way. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to everyone for that. It was beautiful. Moving on to resolution 4.3, approving March 12 work action meeting. Is there any motion? I don't think I have to take motions. Any questions, any discussions? Moving on to the policy, 5.1 section. Any questions, any discussions? Moving to 6.12. This is getting boring. Educational section, any questions? Moving on to 7.14, which is the personnel section. Any questions? All right. Moving on to 8.17. Wait,
I did want to make one.
go ahead.
Because I did just remember that on here is Mr. Inglese's resignation. He was named the superintendent in Fairview starting July 1st. So he's been in the district, and I've worked with him very closely as superintendent over the last 6 years, but even as the high school principal and vice principal. So that's going to be some big shoes to fill. We already have over 50 applicants for the job. So we're going to start the interview process next week and try to get down to 2 or 3 finalists before making a decision. So, but we wish him good luck. I didn't want to not say something. I originally wanted to put it in my superintendent's comments, but I forgot. And then looking at this, I just remembered. So we'll have time to celebrate with him and work with him, but I just wanted to just make note of that tonight.
Thank you, Kennedy. And thank you for reminding me. I don't think you wanted to bring it up because we just don't want to let him go. In knowing what I know of him in the last few years and prior as a principal, I don't know how you pose your interview questions, but Batman question has to come along. All the things he does for those kids, he really loves school. He runs a really tight ship. To the point when the pre-K playground was being done, he was out there 24/7 like a general contractor. And you can't put the fence this way, you can't do this. He's very meticulous in a lot of his ways. Kennedy taught me often enough, when you visit him, you change up some of his desk and he just gets really frustrated and puts it all back to where he had it. So that's kind of his principal behavior. In learning here about the special needs, special ed, and he really, you need 5 tooth combs. He does an amazing job. We're gonna miss him. And he's really big shoes to fill. We're gonna miss him. But I'm really proud in all his years. I just learned about, he kind of told me about all his years in education and how he's taken this and some of the big steps he's taken in his career. And this is a big powwow for him. So, congratulations to you. You truly deserve that. Moving on to, I was at the finance section, 8.17, any discussion? Moving on to 9.3, buildings and grounds. I don't think we give committee reports this time around, right? Does anyone want to report? You want me to do it briefly? For those who have been questioning about fields and so on and so forth, just know we're out to bid again on the fields. We also recently met with the liaison at the council, and we met with the buildings and grounds council members to hash out some of the details of the interlocal agreement, I guess it's called. Shared services agreement. And the spirits are amazing. The conversation, and I'm gonna say this because I can, one of my first conversations that I've experienced in 8 years, and I've heard about it prior, to be able to discuss with the council and everybody is on the same page about the direction we're going. Lisa Coles was there, Pat McHale was there, Johnny Mitchell was there. Let me know if I'm forgetting.
Board administrator.
Board administrator was there, our attorney was there, their attorney was there. Oh, and
The new rector.
he didn't make it. Mr. Kennedy was there, Irfan was there, so we had everything from financial discussions, so basic architects were there. And I can tell you, if I go back 7 years or 8 years, we had a joint meeting once with the Board of Ed when I was on the council, and that did not shave well. And then there was a moment where we tried to come in here, and that didn't go well. I was locked out. So just letting you know that I can say this, it was an amazing meeting. It was all the level-minded people, I think, right? Am I wrong? It was great. We've come to a general consensus. The point is, we want to deliver to Bogota what we promised and what we've committed to doing, and we're on that way. So we have to put that out there because it doesn't always happen. And the stigma in Bogota is Board of Ed doesn't like down the hill. That's what they call it. And down the hill doesn't like up the hill. But at the end of the day, I'll say it, I said it at that meeting, it's one bucket of tax dollars. How it's spent, it's one story, but it's same bucket. I know that when they take my money, they don't take 3 checks, they take 1. So at the end of the day, we're working together, we're working for the taxpayer. And that was a meeting that proved everything against any stigma that has existed in Bogota. That was a very good meeting. So I want to thank the council members, the liaison, and the building and ground members who were there for us. And it was just amazing to see it transpire. And it was a lot of hope going forward. That's what I would say for the buildings and ground. Moving on to committee reports. I think we're done, right? Old business, 11-1. Any discussion? Any need? 12-1, new business. 13-1, open the floor to hearing of the citizens on any topic.
Motion.
You have a motion?
Second.
A second from Chavez? Any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any member of the public that want to address us on absolutely anything? Please state your name. You have 5 minutes. I'll take a motion to close hearing of the public.
Motion.
Mr. Chavez, do I have a second?
Alvarez.
Alvarez, any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So tonight we will have executive session on personnel matter. Action may or may not be taken, right?
Yeah, I don't think we're taking any action.
We're not taking any action, so I'll just read it. Whereas the C-231 PL 1975, also known as a sunshine law, authorizes a public body to meet an executive or private session under certain limited circumstances. And whereas said law requires the board to adopt a resolution at a public meeting before it can meet in such executive or private session. Now therefore be it resolved by the Bogota Board of Education that it does by here determine that it is necessary to meet in executive session on April 23rd at approximately 7:21 PM to discuss matters involving the negotiations, litigation, and personnel. That the matter discussed will be made public when confidentiality is no longer required, and action pursuant to said discussion shall take place only at a public meeting. Action, we're not taking action. Do I have a motion to go executive session?
Motion.
Chavez, do I have a second?
Alvarez.
Alvarez, Mr. Alvarez, any board discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I guess we'll be back in about,
We're gonna be very quick, I think.
yeah, probably
Based
2
on what
minutes.
I have, yeah, it's gonna be very quick.
Okay, so we'll be back at approximately 7:30. 31.
You know what? I'll bring some Cuban coffee. Cuban coffee. Right, it's gonna be great.
That's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. I got my husband saying, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. That's Rob's thing. It's gonna be great.
My cousin.
Do I have a motion to reopen the public meeting?
Motion.
Mrs. Rocket, do I have a second?
Second.
Mrs. Alcalde, we're not taking action. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Mr. Alvarez, Mr. Chavez, Mrs. Alvarez for second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good evening, everyone.